Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to take a deep dive into the DFW real estate market by talking to a seasoned broker owner. He's a pro. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Today we're going to be talking about real estate with a true pro, and I like to think that during good times anybody can sell a house. You really separate the good from the weak when it comes to a speed bump, and we've had a little bit of a speed bump. And in DFW, let's be honest, there's not a really bad market ever when it comes to real estate. We keep growing larger and larger all the way up to the Oklahoma border. To talk about that today, Tyler Kreis, right?
Kreis, yes.
Kreis. So, Tyler Kreis, he's with TK Realty, and you've been in the business for how many years now?
So I got licensed in 2015 I started doing flips in 2015, got licensed in 2018, and TK Realty we were able to launch in January. And you are 100% right. It is really easy to sell a house when the market's on fire, like we've seen over the last 2 years. And now the current market, we've been experiencing some normalcy, right? It's steadying it out, and along with it, it's thinning out a lot of people who jumped into it thinking it was easy.
Yeah, and I think it is healthy. Like even in the short time that you've been alive, how many years now?
I am 34 years old.
34 yeyears old.
Yeah.
He's a young man, lots of energy. But in the short time you've been alive, you have seen, ebbs and flows of the economy.
Yeah, I fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know which way you want to lean, but yeah, I've been able to live through the 2008 housing crisis, then see the market come back up right when I was getting my license, and then now be able to witness a market that is truly probably the most steady market that I've been part of since I've been licensed. And it's been a good experience, and it's a lot healthier in the long run.
You bet. We're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll down your website, I want you to talk about what separates your firm from others. So
really, we launched TK Realty after debating going in back and forth. Like, am I going to get my brokerage license? Am I going to stay an individual agent? And we really locked into launching TK Realty because we are unique in the sense of we craft our business around our clients, and they are the most important thing, and we want them to win, even if that means we lose sometimes. And we're a customer focused, a data driven, and we do our best to inform the clients, slow down when we have to slow down, and speed up and run as fast as we need to.
And what I like about you is you have integrity. I remember some 20 years ago, I bought a house that was too big for me, and I could barely qualify for the mortgage, and my realtor allowed me to do it, and I was house poor. We couldn't travel, we could barely furnish the thing, and so I'm assuming that you will talk a couple out of making a bad move.
Yes, and while we can't talk everybody out of a bad move, one of the biggest things that I myself teach and think it's the most important for our agents to do when we're talking to our clients is talk with a financial advisor, a really qualified lender that helps tell you the risk about, hey, you can afford it, but do you want to afford it situations? Because there's a lot of people who can afford a house, but they don't need to afford that house.
Yes.
And we can get something pretty comparable. And it just takes conversations with ourselves, with our clients, and then also with our preferred financial advisors and lenders.
Well, you're a smart business person because I know you're thinking beyond just the quick sale. You want to do the second sale when they move to the larger house, and you want to do their brothers and sisters and cousins.
Yeah, it's a referral business. So everything we do, with our clients is to hope that they use us down the road, to hope that they are going to refer us out to somebody else. And it's a funny stat that 80% of people who close with a realtor say they would use them again. However, only 12% of the people do. And it's simply because a lot of agents, we close, and then they never talk to them again.
Right.
So we try to do a really good job just staying in touch, preaching to our database, and just letting them know, hey, we're here. If AC goes out, call this person, and staying in touch with them.
That's outstanding. I want to show some video of DFW. It's some drone footage, and you would agree with me that just DFW, I can't think of a better market in the country.
We're rated #1 in the country. So, and it's due to how healthy and diverse our job market is. People are constantly moving here, and thank God we're in Dallas-Fort Worth when it comes to real estate.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you're seeing some of the migration from some of the states that were so locked down, like California and New York. Did you end up seeing anybody?
Yeah, there's a real heavy relocation into Dallas-Fort Worth, and it's really has to do with how business-friendly Texas is, right? Like, yes, we have the inventory. You can get a decent amount more for your money here, but we're business friendly. So as people are moving here, just like Toyota moved to Plano from San Diego, they didn't move here because you could get a bigger house.
Sure.
They moved here because of our business climate, and that's what the driver.
Tell me about how real estate is changing. I know, the last time I bought a house, you would show up at every house, you would tour every house.
Yeah.
And then when the pandemic happened, everybody seemed to go to Zoom and virtual tours. Are we back to physical tours again?
So I'd say 95% of them are back to physical tours. People are allowing you in your house, allowing the showings. The virtual tours, though, are still a good tool. I think it forced us in the real estate industry to get creative, right? And to allow somebody to see it somewhere else. So whether it's FaceTime, a true Matterport virtual tour, or in person is always the best. But we're back doing it.
Let's give some advice to the people who are thinking about selling their home. What are some things that they need to be aware of, like curb appeal, maybe updating a room or two?
And it's where, like in 2020, and then really until about April last year, you could just throw up a house. We had no inventory. You didn't have to have professional pictures or anything like that. But now in this market, you need to declutter, have your carpets professionally cleaned, hire a landscaper. If you need to stain your front door or do certain things that when somebody walks out of their car and they look at your house, they get a good feeling. They open the door, it smells good, it's clean, you have professional pictures, and the house looks like the pictures.
Sure.
And that's what we're having to do now. You didn't need to do it 2 years ago. I could go in with my iPhone.
Okay, let's talk about what it's like to work with you. When you sit down with a couple for the first time, what does that look like?
So when you sit down with us at our brokerage, TK Realty, we try to get to know our clients. We are really focused on relationship building and being able to achieve the goals from their real estate goals, right? So data is data. When it comes to most of the realtors in North Texas, we can look at what homes are selling for and look at a spreadsheet and present numbers, and we're all going to get really close. But we try to go deeper, dive into the relationships, really find the reasons why they want to move, where they want to move, the size, and really create that custom plan that's relationship driven, that's also backed by data.
Absolutely. Well, I can see why you're so successful. We're going to end with the website, which is listwithtk.com.
Yes.
Tyler, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate your time.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.